Hey, so hello everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Platinum Prime with Linda Ferguson.
And Karen Nelson Bell.
Good. Now, I've noticed the last time we did this, I would go like this, and to me, it looks like I'm pointing right at you. But
Now,
it
I
was
like to myself, I look like I'm pointing at you. Yeah,
this way, so I think we're flipped.
yeah,
All
maybe
right,
so.
so Karen, yeah, it's just getting used to doing a live stream where we're not in the same location, and so it's the trickiness. But if we're pointing in the wrong direction, it's not because I'm blonde. Sometimes I use that excuse, but it's actually because we look we look like we're side by side, and that Karen's sitting over there, but I think she's actually sitting over there.
I think you're sitting over there. Over there.
That's funny. Okay. So that is a problem. It's a mirror image.
Yeah.
Today, in this episode of Platinum Prime podcast, and it's Platinum Prime for Life, we're going to be talking about holidays and what happens when a holiday comes up and how do you maintain that edge that you need to keep to live a Platinum Prime life. Now, so before we really get into it, just a very quick background. So, my background is in 2017, I suddenly found that I was a after 35 years, divorced woman, and I had no clue what to do going forward. I was past my prime, we'll say, and hadn't realized that I had a platinum prime coming up. So, in going through and figuring it out for myself, I really felt a huge desire to help other women that find themselves in a similar circumstance. And that is a holistic approach to creating a new life, AKA starting over again, but doing it better this time. So, I chose to go primarily focused in financial services, but of course, in order to live a better than before life, it includes finances, it includes relationships, it includes health, it includes looking in the mirror and thinking you look good. And with that in mind, we have our health and wellness and fitness and looking fabulous over 80 guest host, Karen Nelson Bell.
Hi, Linda. Well, you can be, you can make your financial health be better. But if you don't have your physical health, it doesn't matter. We've seen some very wealthy people in the United States succumb to health issues. With all the money they had, they couldn't stay around, couldn't stick around. Likewise, on the flip side, if you have your health, which I do, I'm very lucky, but you can't afford to keep gas in your tank and keep the utilities on, you cannot be a super senior, which is my focus. Yes, I just turned 80. I'm 80 and I'm 80 and 2/12. I'm 80 and 1/6 years. Because
Okay.
you said in my 80s. Well, I am in my 80s. I'm just a little beyond. Um, you cannot be a super senior, which is my focus. You can't do that without financial health. You have to have both. You have to have your physical health and your. That's why this is. Do you think we're just a good combination because we're both platinum blondes? No, because we both realize that the combination of her viewpoints and my viewpoints really blend together to make a holistic, better life for people as they go into the fourth quarter, or maybe it's the third quarter for you. You could even start in your second quarter and set yourself up for benefit. So one of the things that happens in the health and wellness is focus on the size and shape of your body. And I've been every size and every shape, and I'm going to post a rant really soon, because when we are grown-ups, we think we should have control of our body. When we're babies and children and even in our preteens, we don't have any control. So it's when we get to our teenage years and all of a sudden we have a driver's license and can go get pizza anytime we please instead of when we're told, we kind of maybe go wild because of all of the restrictions that we've had for so long. Well, what happens on holidays? This feeling of letting go and indulging because you've lived a life of restriction for the last 3 or 4 months, it seems like it's detrimental to your health. It seems like, oh, I just blew it. Oh, I was bad. Oh, I was naughty. I ate bad food. I made bad choices. And you think you're doing some terrible, terrible harm. However, I propose that my own research on my own lifestyle, my own body, has been that when I have indulged, and this is way before I became a keto coach, because keto happens to be the thing for me. I don't think the world has to be keto. It's just really good for me. And I research other things as well. I'm researching carnivore right at the moment. But whenever I have overeaten, like let's say there's a 3-day weekend and I overeat, the following week, it's easier for me to lose weight. Now, in the last 6.5 years, I haven't eaten sugar or carbs or grains or junk. I don't eat any junk. Things that I consider, because of what I've observed with my body, if I eat sugar, I have more pain. If I eat grains, I puff up like a balloon. So I'm observing, oh, those don't serve me really well. So I haven't done anything naughty for 6.5 years, but on every holiday, I feast, I eat. I don't do keto, but I don't do junk. I find a way to feast and have all the food I want, and all the inhibitions go away, except for the fact that I'm focused on healthy food. So I was interested in finding out if there was any science behind why I would always find it easier to lose weight afterwards. So I called up my friend Chad. I have a friend named Chad, and he's a fantastic researcher. He researches everything. I'm a health researcher, but he helps me. And so I called up Chad and I said, "Hey, Chad, here's my deal. Here, I'll tell you what I said. I said, I wrote to him. I said, I'm a weight loss author and coach. As you know, I have a theory that every now and then it's good for a person to, quote, feast with a lot of healthy calories to let the body know we're not starving. I seem to lose weight more easily after a holiday weekend of feasting with healthy food. Is there any science to back up my theory?" And he says, Karen, your theory aligns with some scientific principles, particularly around metabolism and the body's adaptive mechanisms. And then he gives me 4 scientific explanations. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to share those with you, because we've got a holiday coming up. I won't mention which one, but we've got a 4-day holiday coming up, and I plan to enjoy every single minute of it. And I want to show you how I'm going to do it and why I think it could work for you to not restrict yourself, not to feel like you're doing something that you shouldn't. And so is that okay with you, Linda? I'm going to just read like one at a time, and then we can talk about it.
Absolutely.
All right. Very good.
Karen, give me the science.
All right. The first thing is metabolic adaptation. When you consistently eat fewer calories, like a person on a calorie restricted diet, or even a person who's doing OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, maybe you automatically are doing a little bit less calories because you can't stuff everything into 1 meal. Your body may adapt by slowing down its metabolism to conserve energy, a process called adaptive thermogenesis. Occasional feasting, especially on healthy foods, can counteract the slowdown by signaling to your body that it's not in a prolonged calorie deficit. This might temporarily boost your metabolism, making it easier to lose weight afterwards. So particularly if it's healthy, but he doesn't say it would have to be healthy. It could be, you don't have to do what I'm doing. I mean, maybe you just go for it. Like at Thanksgiving, I always have sweet potatoes, and I have some keto marshmallows that I put on top. So I have the old fashioned traditional keto marshmallow sweet potato casserole. But you can with regular marshmallow.
What's a keto marshmallow?
Oh, it's just made without sugar. It's made with allulose.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
So does that make you think, oh, maybe this holiday, I think I shall feast to let my body know I'm not starving?
Well, since I have two parties scheduled, then we're hosting both of them. Yeah, I'm definitely going to plan on following that.
And it's not hard to follow, right? Whichever
I
choice you
know.
make, healthy or unhealthy. Obviously, I think that it's better if you make a healthy choice. Yeah. So let me go. Shall I go to the second one? This one's
Sure.
really
I
cool.
just want to make a comment here. So, years ago, Tim Ferriss, who's well known as the author of the 4 Hour Week, what is that, 4 Hour Work Week? I think that's it. He wrote a book called The 4 Hour Body. So, he became a best selling author and a very recognized guy. 4 Hour Body had exactly the same thing. And I followed that, where you would eat super healthy all week, but then on the weekend, and it was a whole weekend, you had to feast. So I've actually followed that pattern in the past, and I can attest to the fact that it does work.
Wow. Thanks.
Metabolic
Yeah.
confusion. Yeah.
I'm for sure going to look up that book and I'll get it on Kindle or something and check that out, because more science to back up what my theory is. I thought this up. So, well, he says that Chad says leptin and hormonal response. Leptin is a hormone that helps regulate energy balance by inhibiting hunger. Okay, leptin inhibits hunger. Prolonged calorie restriction can reduce leptin levels, so we don't have that hormone, slowing metabolism and increasing hunger. So by the calorie restriction, we're increasing our hunger. High calorie day or refeed can temporarily boost leptin levels. Oh my gosh, that's good to know, which may help restore normal metabolic function and reduce feelings of deprivation, making weight loss easier in the following days. So now, maybe we don't even care if we have science to back it up, because you've got your observation of you and I've got my observation of me. Maybe that's all we need. Maybe everybody here doesn't need to know any science at all. Maybe they just need to experiment this next holiday and find out if it's true for them.
Well, I would like to make a comment here.
Okay.
And it's just the comment is absolutely do that. The science behind something is really interesting because you know physically what your body's doing when you eat foods and when you don't eat foods and when you go into fasting and so on. Those are all really good things to know. But at the end of the day, science or no, we each react differently and we each have different life circumstances. So, carry on. But so, because what I found is, yes, I used to do those things to my body. And then there was a point where my body figured out that I would eat well for 4 days and then not. And it wasn't as dramatic after that. So, and that's just me, the experiment of one.
Well, that's interesting, because I only do this on holidays. So I do it on my birthday. I do it at Christmas and New Year's and at Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
I do it on the 4th of July. I do it on Labor Day and Memorial Day. So
Hmm.
there's 7 that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
And any other holiday I can think of that would be good, maybe I'll do it on your birthday. But basically, I'm only doing this about 7 or 8 times a year. I'm not doing it every week or
Sure.
every month at all, because I have never tried that. But now that you told me about that book, maybe I have to experiment with that and see if this holds true for me. But yeah, I'm just all about, you're different from me and I'm different from you. And I had somebody tell me today, I said, well, you're going to have to experiment. She said, I don't want to experiment because I want something easy and I want it given to me. I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to work that way. You have to find your thing, I think. So, well, here, let me just tell you the next 2, and we can argue them or agree on them. The psychological benefits. Feasting occasionally can also provide psychological relief from restrictive eating, reducing stress, and making long-term adherence to a healthy diet more sustainable. this is very true for me.
Mhm.
This relaxation of dietary rules can help you stick to your plan better after the feast, potentially contributing to more effective weight loss in the long run. So instead of thinking that you're doing something terrible, I think of it as providing myself with fun and enjoyment and flavors that I love, and I don't have to have this continual I can't have it, I can't have it, I can't have it, because I'm having it. And of course, with keto, there's so many hacks. Well, with other styles of eating as well, there's so many hacks for the things that you think you want. If you want a cheesecake, well, I can have cheesecake all day long because I can make myself a keto cheesecake, So the psychological benefits are enormous for me.
Wonderful.
What do you have to say to that?
The psychological benefits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything that you're saying has truth. I mean, I don't find anything to disagree with. I'm not quite as build up about it because I'm not quite as strict as you are. So, or you're living a particularly restrictive way of eating, method of eating. I have a husband who loves to go out to dinner and loves to plan every meal and loves that our time is spent together. So I eat well. I definitely eat well, but I have more opportunity to agree with him and we go do something or whatever, So it's a slightly different scenario. And in the end, overall, we're doing this. Why are we doing this? Because we are keeping our health up and we're keeping our happiness up and we're keeping life in balance. So continue.
Well, it was kind of funny. It was very odd for me to hear you say that I live a restricted dietary life regimen, because that's why I'm on keto, is because I don't feel restricted. I have everything I want. I have anything I want. The only things that I really haven't figured out a hack for is popcorn. There was one other thing I can't, but popcorn is my main thing that I cannot figure out a good hack for popcorn. I would really like that. But I don't feel like I couldn't do. I've done every diet in the world, as people who have dieted like I have for 65 years, done every diet there is. And I can be very strict for very long periods of time. But at the end of that, all hell will break loose sometime. I just recorded a video on the 4 things that the body measures. And one of the things it measures is pleasure. And if you don't have any pleasure, the body will insist that you eat more so that you get some pleasure. So I could never have gone 6.5 years on something that was restrictive. The reason I've been able to stay that way is because there are so many ways to to hack the system. I'm biohacking the system all the way to super senior. So I don't feel restricted. It was very funny when you said that, because I don't feel restricted at all. I could never have done this if I were restricted. Well, let's do the last one.
Your diet's restrictive. It is very restrictive as far as not some of the choices of things that you eat that are fulfilling to you. I just be like, no, that's not my thing. That's not how I want to eat. So
Spaghetti and meatballs, macaroni and cheese, cheesecake, those are restrictive? I don't think so. Well, anyway.
Yeah, we're going, I've eaten with you and I go, you eat really well. I eat very differently. And I compare it to walking into a household where I now am married to someone who's eaten a particular way for a very long time, which is pretty much a carnivore diet. So it's steak and salad with things in it. And then a particular way, which just didn't fit my body at all. And it wasn't what I was used to. I would be like mostly vegan, some grains, which I do really well on that. Not unprocessed things like rice, which I love, and oatmeal, which yesterday I had like 2 bowls of oatmeal because it was just that kind of a day. My body, the sense of well-being when I eat like that is tremendous. My body is just saying thank you, and it's saying thank you in a nice way because I needed to say that. Um, anyway, but my husband would be very happy with just salad and steak every night of the week. And literally, that is how he ate when we first met. Very good prime beef, wonderful, and a particular kind of salad. And after about 2 weeks of it, I was just going, oh, God, I can't eat this way anymore. It's horrible.
Which just totally shows you how different we all are, because that sounds fabulous to me. I could go dine with him every day of the week. All right, the last one is the science behind it is nutrient replenishment. A feast with healthy calories could help replenish glycogen stores, boost muscle recovery, and improve your overall nutritional status, which may contribute to more efficient fat burning afterwards. So that was his last piece of advice, was that, yeah, you could be actually replenishing some of the nutrients that you haven't been doing if you've been restricting yourself. So I said, let's have a nice holiday. I say, you should have a nice holiday, and I should have a nice holiday.
So here's the point, everyone, is you got me. I'm like the little in your face kind of argument. Oh yeah. And you have Karen, who's lovely and wonderful about giving great advice. At the end of the day, we want to know what your experience has been. Do you save feasting for special holidays? Or are you, let's go for the weekend? I'm good all week. Let's go for the weekend, or something in between. So let us know, and let us know what's worked well with you. Also, as Karen mentioned, she's been a keto coach and a weight loss coach for as long as I've known her. And she's actually helped me. I went through some pictures today for a project that I'm working on. And I had some just leather pants, wild hair. And I go, oh, yeah, that's right, Karen. I remember those days. And then I had a big lifestyle change. I got married, and my weight went up as a result of not eating in a way that benefited me, until I shifted course and now am back on a style that fits me. And the style that fits me is primarily seafood, vegetables, salad, and grain. That is what my body really likes a lot, and not too much food. And in that, and Karen's also, she's just really good as moral support. I keep pointing there, but I know you're here in the video. When I needed one accountability, and accountability when you're doing something different or new, or you're unsure about it, and you've determined that you're going to do that thing, is really important. It's what people pay a lot of money to get. Karen just does it because she's wonderful. But accountability on staying the course for you is something she does really well. So if you're interested in finding out more about how she can help you do that, just reach out to her. You can comment, Karen, help me, in the comments, and she'll get right back to you.
Thank you, Linda. That was nice of you to say that. I appreciate your kind words.
Is it true? Am I correct? Did I say everything right?
Oh, am I wonderful? Of course it's true. Of course. But that's why we're a matched set, because the same thing applies. I mean, anybody that wants to make sure that they have a stability in their finances, no matter what age they get to, and especially if you have a legacy that you have to protect. I don't have any children. I don't know what, I have to figure out. You're going to help me figure out what's going to happen, because I don't have a legacy to protect. But I think that you do the same thing I do, Linda. I think that you're so kind. You look at each person as an individual, and you're not trying to lump everybody into buy my thing, whatever that might be, what like stockbrokers do, and I think you're absolutely remarkable. So that's why I think we're a matched set.
We are. We're both women. We like each other so much because we both come from the heart. The actions that we take aren't meant to enrich us, but they're meant to help the people that we're helping. Mm-hmm. And so with that in mind, Mine is just empowering women to look into the future and feel like they are able to steer the boat. They're able to say, okay, financially, I know I'm whole. I know that I have a financial solution sitting in front of me so that I'm not going to run out of money before I die. And Karen's like, okay, well, talk to me, and I'm going to take you to ways where you can extend your life in a healthy way, a way that you can enjoy life for that long future you have. And then you talk to Linda because she's going to make sure that as you're living longer, you have the finances to support a lifestyle that is of your own design and not a lifestyle that you have to turn to because all of your options are being taken away from you.
Perfectly said, Linda.
All right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. All right. And with that, we are going to have a holiday coming up. So in our next episode, Karen's going to tell you what she ate. No, I'm just
Well, for sure, I'm having some, and I can't tell you because then that'll tell you what holiday it was.
it
Because
doesn't
I was
matter.
going to say what I'm going to enjoy the most, and if I tell you that, then you'll say, "Oh, this must be recorded right before."
Yeah. Well, they're going to be able to kind of tell because they're going to be watching this recording around that. But it is interesting to see what Karen has in her really non-restrictive to her diet. Which reminds me, I have some keto chocolate chips that I mean to get over to you because I can't eat them.
I'm always happy to receive keto chocolate chips.
Now, don't you have a handout for everyone?
I do. If they're at all curious to know, I sent this over to you as a PDF, and I'm a techaholic. I'm a geekabee. A geekabee is a geek wannabe, but you're more advanced than me. So I sent you a PDF of what I wrote to Chad.
Okay, good.
And what he answered me. So if anybody wants to know, there you go.
Sounds very good. All right, everyone. So that does it for this week's episode of Platinum Prime Life with the two Platinums.
Bye, everybody.